grand touring. To me, it's one of the more romantic things you can do with a car. An equal blend of luxury, speed, and distance, of leather and power and land. Where you're going isn't quite as important as what you're driving, though it matters. If I shut my eyes and dream, I see a Ferrari 275 GTB from London to Nice, a Porsche 928 from Berlin to Stockholm, a V12 Jag from Paris to Budapest, classic cars through exotic locales, and all in Europe. But you know what? We've got a pretty great continent of our own, one that I love driving across every chance I get. Which is why, when the opportunity to pilot a Porsche 911 Turbo coast to coast presented itself, I jumped at the chance. Who wouldn't want to turbo across America? We picked up the Turbo S at the Atlanta airport. Leather? An acre of it. Power? Almost too much. 560 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque, with 553 pound-feet of twist available for short bursts of time. I should mention price too, because this particular 911 comes in at $199,065. A silly amount of money for sure, though for a Porsche, not that heavily optioned. Base price is $181,000. As for destinations, my first was Birmingham, Alabama, and the mind-boggling Barber Motorsports Park, where I ran into a friend of mine. Here I am on the first stop of the coast-to-coast Porsche 911 Turbo S-Drive. Happened to run into my good friend Randy Popst at the Barber Motorsports Museum.
Hi, Johnny. I'm a bike guy.
So we're gonna go check out their collection. Come on. For me, looking at motorbikes is fun, but it pales in comparison to driving a fast car on a racetrack. One more point, if you ever get a chance to get coached up by a pro, take it.
I love the pushback. You can feel the power pushing you back into the seat.
Absolutely, yeah, there's just so much power in this thing. I mean, I'm glad we're taking it to a track. I mean, you know, technically, like, you know, the GT3 is the track car. This is your cross-continental kind of touring car, but it's quick. it's really quick. The problem is that we gotta, drive this car here now, and then these tires have to make it all the way to Los Angeles. And we're gonna be visiting a road in Arkansas that my friend of mine, Nelson, claims is the greatest road in America.
I want to go.
10 times better than Tail of the Dragon, according to him.
That's not possible.
Well, we shall see. I looked at a map, it's 10 times longer.
Well,
I don't know.
That's 10 times better.
I don't know. So we'll see. Stupid polar vortex. It took most of my skill to keep the car from going straight at just 45 miles per hour. It was time to change plans, and quick. This is one of the beauty parts of a road trip when compared to other forms of travel. You can literally just turn the wheel and wind up somewhere completely unexpected, like the grand city of New Orleans. Almost as good was driving through the beautiful Louisiana countryside along the mighty Mississippi River. The less said about what we did that evening in New Orleans, the better, from a legal point of view. And while New Orleans may not be a great car city, it's one of my absolute favorites. If you haven't been, please go. Sadly, we had just one night in the Big Easy because we had to be in Houston, Texas the next afternoon to meet another friend of mine, horsepower king and legendary tuner John Hennessy. The plan never evolved much past run the Turbo S on the drag strip behind his shop, and that was fine with me. Well, I made it from New Orleans, Louisiana to just west of Houston, Texas to Hennessy Performance Engineering. So not only do I get to play with a 560 horsepower Porsche, I got a 750 horsepower Cadillac. And now me and my friend John Hennessy are literally gonna go screw around on a drag strip. Right, well John, good to be in Texas.
Hey Johnny.
Great to see you.
Welcome to Texas.
It's always good to be here.
It's always good to have a quarter-mile drag strip at your beck and call when you're in Texas.
Pretty cool just having your backyard like that.
Absolutely.
All right, so 911 Turbo S,
Yeah.
560 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque.
All-wheel drive, Tiptronic transmission.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, not the
PDK,
PDK, excuse me.
Dual clutch.
Yep.
I think the air conditioning's on. I'm just gonna kind of put my foot on the.
We're just gonna roll up and we're gonna go ahead and stage.
Stage
okay,
it up?
so
All
just
right.
gonna kind of
All right, gotta put it in
put her in
drive.
drive and just kind of cruise up a little bit more. Stop. Okay, and then we can just go whenever the countdown comes and you're ready to go. Impressive. She's got some nuts.
Wow. We just broke the camera mount. Oh my god.
Who cares? Keep going. Here we go.
Burn up.
Yeah, it gets up and goes pretty good.
So, you know, yeah, it doesn't have the initial launch, but that pull.
Yeah, once you get going, it's definitely
like right about 60, 70 miles
Yeah.
an hour. Suddenly, there's like a second hand pushing you back in.
right. I mean, I got into the throttle pretty aggressive while I was still in first.
The results were eye-opening, with the Porsche able to do the quarter mile in 11.2 seconds, whereas the Cadillac, which by the way is an automatic and only has rear-wheel drive, did it in 11.4. Now, both cars' launches were hampered by the fact that there were two big dudes just kind of goofing around. However, when we got the Porsche back to our testing crew in California, it was able to run the quarter mile in 10.9 seconds. After Houston, we slept in San Antonio, enjoyed breakfast on that city's gorgeous Riverwalk, and then decided to jam home to Los Angeles as quickly as possible. An easy thing to do when you're driving a car that goes 60 miles an hour in 2.6 seconds and can hit 150 miles an hour in the blink of an eye. I set out to verify two things about this country, and I failed at both. I got snowed out of driving what my pal Nelson claims is the best road in America. I also never got the chance to taste what my friends Dave and Holly claim is the best steak in the country. Good boy. Oh, oh.
You're kind of blind.
I moved my hand. Should I talk?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm here in Van Horn, Texas, making friends. Sadly, the cattle company restaurant here, which my friends Dave and Holly claim is the best steak in America, is closed. Now, Dave did say, hey, make sure you get there not on a Sunday because they're closed Sundays. So here we are Monday, 4 p.m., and they're not open. Here you go, boy. But that's the thing about a road trip. You have all the freedom in the world, but nobody else gives a damn about your schedule. Anyways, I'm starving, so we're gonna go eat somewhere else. Come on, boy. But I did get to take 3 newbies out for a night in New Orleans and eat some incredible Mexican food in Las Cruces, New Mexico. As is always the case with road trips, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey. All 3,186 miles of it. Nearly as important, that road in Arkansas and that steak in Texas are still there, just waiting for me to come back. About the car, I mean, the 911 Turbo S, yes, it's expensive. But I mean, think about this thing. It then went to a drag strip and beat a 750 horsepower Cadillac driven by John Hennessy himself, and it has comfortably and quietly cruised 3,147 miles so far, all the way across the country. Relatively comfortable. I just checked the oil level. Oil's still good. I mean, besides a bigger back seat, what more do you want? An incredible machine. Plus, and I can say this from experience, if you ever need to go from about 80 miles an hour to 160 by the time you can count to 3, this is your car.